Hey, Mount Calvary, Pastor Steve here. Listen, I pray everyone is healthy and is safe and is well. I just want to reach out to you to give you an update concerning May 1st being the date that the governor is opening up the state of Ohio, and we see that he is opening the state up in different phases. And so when we begin to think about that, we have to ask ourselves, okay, so what does that mean about Mount Calvary? What are we going to be doing about opening back up? Well, we know that large gatherings are still not recommended. And so we're going to continue at Mount Calvary to have our services online via Facebook and YouTube. And listen, thank you so much for showing up for the lives. I've been going in, checking the chats, and I see everybody interacting. Listen, God bless you. Thank you so much for doing that. Listen, family, as we move towards looking to have in-person worship services, we just want to make sure that we're being wise and diligent and prayerful, and we're being cautious as we move forward to having our worship services face to face. And so we're looking at first Sunday in June as the date that we're looking to come together and worship. And listen, I know that seems like a long time away. And listen, I get it. I felt it as soon as I said it. But we want to make sure that we are being cautious and making sure that we're caring for everyone during this time. As I said before, I believe that God is going to bring us through this. This too shall pass. And listen, God is still on the throne. None of this has caught him by surprise. And he's going to make sure that we come through this. And so with that being said, this Sunday, May 3rd, is our Communion Sunday. And listen, we are going to have communion. All right, so please have your crackers and your juice ready at the beginning of service so that the end of service, we can have communion together. You and your family there at your home, but also us as a corporate body able to have communion with each other. And we're starting a new sermon series entitled Toxic. We did this sermon series a few years ago, but now as we begin to look towards the state opening back up, I believe we have to be in the right mind frame to move into this some sort of new normal that we're going into, and removing toxic things out of our lives as we move towards this. And so removing toxic thoughts and toxic influences and toxic words out of our mouths so that we can be able to do what God has called us to do as we move forward. And as it relates to our small groups, we will still have our small groups online, still doing it via Zoom. So I encourage you, please sign up for a small group if you have not signed up and you haven't been joining us. Listen, we want to see your face. We want to be able to interact with you. And I know some of us are okay with being by ourselves, but can I tell you, some of us are not. And we would love just to fellowship with you and to hear from you and just to see how you're doing. Listen, now more than ever, community fellowship is so important. So please sign up for a small group. I believe it'll be encouragement not only to you, but also to those who are a part of the small group. And listen, family, I've been hearing of testimonies of people reaching out to one another, calling each other, checking in on one another. Listen, thank you so much for being there for one another. Thank you for reaching out and seeing how each other is doing. Also, I'm hearing testimonies of people having watch parties on Facebook with our worship services. God bless you. They're being the host of the watch party and inviting their families and friends in. Listen, we still got to get the word of God out. We're still focused on making disciples of Jesus Christ who love God and people. So thank you for sharing and telling people about what God is doing with us at Mount Calvary. And let me encourage you, please do not get weary in well-doing. And I know this is a difficult time, a stressful time, a little bit of anxiety. Some people are even feeling some depression during this time. But listen, we're praying for you, and I know God is going to bring us through this. So don't get weary in well-doing. Keep the faith. God has everything under control. And listen, If you are interested in serving in some other way, please go over to our website. We have multiple ways that we're trying to serve the community and just to share the love of Jesus Christ and to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with people. And listen, I want to say thank you so much to our senior saints. Man, I am so proud of y'all. The seasoned saints are showing us how we can't get comfortable, right? And we can get out of our comfort zone. Listen, the seasoned saints of Mount Calvary, they're jumping on YouTube and on Facebook, and they're on Zoom, interacting, talking to one another, having Bible studies, small group. Seniors, I am so proud of you. Thank you so much for staying connected and being there for one another and being there for us. We love you and we surely appreciate you. And listen, Mount Calvary, I'm going to continue to say thank you for your giving and your generosity and giving your tithes and offering to the Lord. Thank you for being faithful to what God has placed in your hands so that we as a church can be faithful with the things that God has placed in our hands. And I know, as I said before, this is challenging times and even more challenging times for some of us. So listen, if you are in need of assistance in any kind of way, please reach out to the church to see how we can be able to help and to come alongside you to be able to help you, because we are in this with one another. So Mount Calvary, thank you so much for your continued generosity, your giving and your tithes and your offering. And as God continues to bless you financially, please continue to give unto the Lord so that we can be able to continue to be generous and to help those in need and to make sure that we are taking care of the things that God has placed in our hands as a corporate body. And if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, our Mount Calvary newsletter, please sign up today. We want to keep you informed with everything that's going on. And please like us on Facebook, our Facebook page, as well as subscribe to our YouTube page. So when new videos come out, we can be able to let you know what's happening. You can get those notifications. All right, Mount Calvary, listen, I love you. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm praying for you. And listen, remember, God has everything under control, and we're going to keep the faith, trusting in Him, knowing that He is going to bring us through this, and this too shall pass. I encourage you, please pray for one another, pray for our congregation. Also pray for me and my family. We do need your prayers. But also make sure that we're praying for the Governor DeWine, and our state as it begins to open up. And listen, matter of fact, even the United States and the world, pray that God's hand will be upon our world and upon our lives, and that sickness and disease will be healed, lives will be transformed, and that the gospel of Jesus Christ will be shared more as ever before. All right, well, thank y'all so much. God bless you. Know I'm praying for you. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye now.